So on behalf of Mrs. Talbert and myself, welcome. It's been an interesting year, just like always. The busing situation is starting to resolve itself some, and now we have the issue with the officials. So we're trying to hopefully keep all these pieces back together and looking forward to a good season again next year. To the administration, Mr. Brindley, Mr. Stevens, Mr. Millay, Mrs. Losey, the school board, for the support of all aspects of our child's education, whether it be academics, athletics tonight, music, all right, art. We do a great job at school giving your child a chance to prosper. So thank you to that. To my presenters tonight for arriving and showing up, and on behalf of the award you represent or the organization you represent, we appreciate all you do to be here for that. The school nurses, Mrs. Terry and Mrs. Carr, do an amazing job. All right, the Parent Square messaging and setting up stuff online has been 2 years in a row now. We're doing a pretty good job of that, all right, through Family ID. So be looking for that. If your child is not a senior, that'll be coming out in early July. Remember, you got to have it's got to be within 1 month of when the sports start. So it won't be till mid to end of July. The maintenance crew, Rich and Bobby and all the guys that you'll see at various times here going around the hallways, they do a lot of things for us inside the building that make it possible for our student athletes to have success. The building and grounds crew, Mr. Plouts and Wheels and Bart especially, they do a great job of getting our fields ready and troubleshooting whatever we need. The bus drivers, especially Laura at the bus garage, keeping okay, if this team leaves early and that team leaves later and this team agrees to switch their game, we can make this happen. So it's a work in progress. We appreciate all the support you guys have been giving us and flexibility on the fly. Again, to remind you for next year, always check Schedule Galaxy, which is now going to be Activate. They've been bought out. That's real-time updates. Okay, that's the most updated information we have from every school, every referee, every whatever it is. So always check there if you're not sure. Secretaries, specifically Ange Miller, Kathy Zaleski, and Bree Thompson, who helped at least throw this thing together as quick as we could to give us a chance at having some success tonight. So fingers crossed. Coaches, for all that you guys do, both in practices, in games, bus rides, supervision, teaching, all those things is greatly appreciated by not just myself and Mr. Brindley and Mr. Stevens, but the community at large. Parents, many of your children are sort of just getting their own licenses and driving themselves in the last year or two, but for most of their athletic career, it was you driving them, you waiting in the parking lot, you waiting to see what time the coach lets them out, you getting them food or drink at the games or after the games, and so we appreciate all you do. Uniforms, last-minute reminders, oh my gosh, Mom, I forgot XYZ, and you're scrambling up the S-curve to try to get it to them before the bus leaves. So whether they say it or not, I'm appreciative of that. So thank you. And the athletes. All right, we're going to honor 3 sport athletes and 2 sport athletes and academic awards and scholar athletes and all these different things, sportsmanship. It's hard. It's hard to play high school sports. You're trying to juggle your studies. You're trying to juggle some of your part-time jobs, friendships, different dynamics from season to season. Coaching staff, they do a pretty good job every day of giving us an honest effort. And so we're appreciative of what you guys do. So thank you for that as well. And last but not least, and I'm going to turn this over to Mr. Brindley in a second, tonight we've made a decision to have a couple more Anthony Drago awards than we would normally give. As most of you know, Mr. Drago passed away, and so we thought it was proper to have a number of other additional awards that will also be given the plaques and the money that goes with it as well. So I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Brindley.
You know, on February 2nd of this year, we lost a dear friend to Oneonta High School and our Oneonta community, but also Oneonta Athletics. Anthony Drago, whose name is why our gymnasium is named after Mr. Drago, a very special man. He graduated from here in 1939. Shortly after, he went off to fight in World War II, was a highly decorated World War II veteran. After the war, he went back to college. Ultimately, he became the assistant men's basketball coach for Duke University. We were fortunate enough for him to return back to Oneonta in 1957, where he coached basketball here and golf. And in 1964, he became a phys ed teacher here. He also served as athletic director until he retired in 1984. But he was a very special guy. It was, you know, his dedication and commitment that truly made our school a better place, and not only our school, but our community in general. and with his service to our country, he made our country a better place as well. After 1984, he basically assumed a full-time job of coming to support athletics here in the high school, and was just a super contributor to everything that we've done here. So I ask you all now just to join me in a moment of silence in his honor. All right, thank you so much. So I also have the honor of presenting our top scholar athletes this evening. As Mr. Mackey was saying, these are our student athletes who are not only working hard in the athletic arenas, but they're also working hard in the classroom. And although Mr. Mackey said it, I would also just like to thank our student athletes, our coaches, you as parents and guardians, but especially our athletes for wearing the uniform of the Oneonta High School and representing our school and our community and your families so very well. Whether it's been over several years here in the high school, we certainly appreciate it and we respect you very much. So our top scholar athletes, these are our student athletes who have earned the highest grade point average in their respective seasons. So I will call the names. If you would, please hold your applause until we have everyone up here, and Mr. Ferrara is going to hand out certificates for these student athletes. So in football, Louis Bonici. Okay. All right, boys soccer, Brett Holleran. Girls soccer, Magdalena Nealis. Girls cross country, Jordan Forbes. Boys cross country, Liam Casey. Girls swimming and diving, Lauren Huber. Boys swimming and diving, Bryson Huber. Boys wrestling, Brighton Logue. Girls wrestling, Maya Wartendijk. Boys indoor track and field, Liam Casey. Girls indoor track and field, Magdalena Nealis. Boys basketball, Andrew Webb. Girls basketball, Jordan Bellinger. Tennis, Brighton Logue. Girls track and field, Jordan Forbes. Boys track and field, Liam Casey. Lacrosse, Andrew Webb. Cheerleading, Isaac Wooden. Golf, Christopher Lawrence. Baseball, Louis Bonici. Softball, Maddie Denning. And volleyball, Megan Cleveland. All right, congratulations to you all. Okay. Thank you all. And now, Mr. Ferrara will take it from here.
Sportsmanship is defined as the conduct and attitude of participants in sports, especially when considering commendable as a grace in losing and fair play. I'll tell you a quick little story about somebody called Chuck King. You don't know who this individual is. For the number of years I've been coaching varsity volleyball, we've made it to finals a few times in Section 4. Unfortunately, most of those times, we were the runner-up. And for the early years when I was coaching, we would walk away with a nice little plaque from Section 4. And all of a sudden, somewhere in that time frame, Section 4 stopped producing runner-up plaques. They said they didn't want to spend the money on it. I was a little taken back by that. I'm thinking, we're here, the girls here, they made it this far, they're standing there with nothing to take home. All of a sudden, the last 2 years, and I expressed my concern of that over the years, that it would be important that if the girls had a chance to walk away with something making it this far. So 2 years ago, we were at finals. They handed us a runner-up plaque. I'm like, oh, good, somebody listened, that's great. So then last year, or this past season, runner-up again, we were given the plaque, and I said, you know what, I never thanked anybody for this. So I went over and I found our volleyball Section 4 coordinator, and I said, Des, I just want to thank you for telling whoever it needs to be to bring these plaques back to us, because I think it's important that the girls get to take something home. And she turned around and said to me, it wasn't Section 4. She goes, you see that official standing over there? That's Chuck King. He's buying these out of his own pocket because he felt that it was important for these girls to go home with something. And I was like, wow, somebody who, looking for no recognition, quietly did this among themselves. And if we look hard enough, there's a lot of goodness in this world. So if you ever come across somebody named Chuck King, thank him for being an awesome human being, which you probably won't. But anyways, let's list the Sportsmanship Award winners here for our sports. These individuals obviously must have portrayed some type of quality that their coach picked them for the Sportsmanship Award, which means that they are good competitors, good teammates, good to the people on the other side of the court, other side of the competition field with them. And this is a very worthy award. So let's run through this. As Mr. Brindley said, please hold your applause till the end. Football, Riley Waltz. Boys soccer, Peyton Mackey. Girls soccer, Lily Rowe. Girls cross country, Anya Sloth. Boys cross country, Brandon Gardner. Girls swimming and diving, Shayla Truesdale. Boys swimming and diving, Eli House. Boys wrestling, Brighton Logue. Girls wrestling, Jay Carnes. Boys indoor track and field, Kian Ziai. Girls indoor track and field, Simone Schumann. Boys basketball, Andrew Webb. Girls basketball, Jordan Bellinger. Tennis, Dylan Shaughnessy. Girls track and field, Maggie Nealis. Did you want me to say Magdalena? I'm sorry. Okay. I thought you made a face at me. Just checking. Boys track and field, Nick Call. Lacrosse, Nason Rainey. Cheerleading, Deja Lee Champion. Golf, Nate Johnson. Baseball, Cam Horth. Softball, Maddie Detting. And volleyball, Megan Cleveland. Next up, Mr. Hughes will be just handing out the 3 Sport Athletes Awards.
Thank you, Lee. I look around the room and I see many former athletes, now dads, current athletes, and I'll contend to you that playing high school athletics is the best experience that you're ever going to have. I was fortunate to play high school, college, and professional sports, and there was nothing better than playing high school athletics. The memories, the experiences you had, there's nothing better. And so I'm very happy to present the 3-Sport Athlete Awards. Most people will not play in college. You certainly won't play 3 sports in college. And our 3-sport athletes begin their high school athletic career in August. They run to May, June, some of them. And the commitment and the dedication they have to their team, to their coach, and to the community should be respected. So we're very happy to introduce tonight's 3-Sport Athletic Awards. Congratulations to all of you. When you come up, please receive your plaque from Mr. Mackey. Noah Ash, soccer, indoor and outdoor track. Louis Benici, football, swimming, and baseball. Porter Holmes, football, swimming, and track. Tanner Jennings, soccer, swimming, and lacrosse. Magdalena Nealis, soccer, indoor, outdoor track. Finley Oliver, soccer, basketball, and track. Abigail Platt, volleyball, basketball, and softball. Owen Schultz, soccer, swimming, and track. Cameron Sitz, football, basketball, and baseball. Vaughn Thomas, football, indoor track, outdoor track. Brandon Gardner, cross country, indoor and outdoor track. Congratulations. Cam. Thanks. And we bring back Mr. Jerry Mackey.
All right, a couple years ago, Section 4 started a program called Character Counts. So I'll read it to you. Section 4 believes at the heart of every leader must be positive character traits. As Michael Josephson states, our character is both formed and revealed by how we deal with everyday challenges as well as extraordinary pressures and temptation. Like a well-made tower, character is built stone and by stone, decision by decision. So the committee decided that we had 2 people in 11th grade, 2 people in 12th grade that we should nominate for this award to Section 4. So the first one is Junior Zach Greigel. Junior Stella Foco. Senior Sabone Schumann. And Senior Owen Schultz. Congratulations, guys. Now I'd like to introduce Kathy Lynch.
Vince Lombardi once said that individual commitment to a group effort That is what makes a team work, a company work, a society work, and a civilization work. In the Oneonta High School community, it takes the commitment of many individuals, student athletes, coaches, teachers, administrators, parents, and community members to make our sports teams work. The recipients of the 2023 Patron of Athletics Award are invaluable members of our athletic program. When asked about this group of individuals, several varsity coaches had the following responses. They are the foundation of the athletic program. They set expectations and introduce our student athletes to the importance of responsibility and accountability. They help the kids with good time management skills. They are kind, compassionate, and often need to be flexible. They are the main recruiters of student athletes to our sports programs. They often have to accommodate very large team rosters and to be able to make changes due to limited uniforms, players, field, or court space for practices or competitions. They are there to support the program, whether it be in the off-season, the preseason, or the postseason, teaching skills and cheering on our athletes at all levels. But the comment made most often by our varsity coaches is that they are patient. These many characteristics make them crucial to our sports programs. Yet they will never win a league or sectional championship. They will never send a team or an athlete to states. They receive very few of the accolades, yet I know many of our varsity coaches thank them at the end of the season banquets. Some may refer to them as the unsung heroes, someone who acts bravely in battle without notice, or someone who sacrifices himself for the good of the group without recognition. Many of our athletes will end the season or their playing career as seniors and thank their varsity coaches, but how many of them will thank these unsung heroes? Earlier this year, I witnessed a very special moment when a parent of a senior approached one of these individuals and went out of their way to thank them for everything that they had done for their son as an athlete, as a student, and as a human being. Tonight, let us give our thanks to all of these unsung heroes of the OHS athletic community and our recipients of the 2023 Patron of Athletics Award, our modified coaches. Pete Casola, Joe Condon, Brady Cotter, stand if you're here. Saw you, Brady. Jenna Farrell, Mike Hamilton, John Nealis, Anna Rossi, Todd Scanlon, Stephen Semple, Dave Slater, Rob Velasco, and Heath Weeks. Thank you. Thank you for being true team players in our sports programs. I would like to introduce Bob Escher from the Oneonta Boys and Girls Club.
It's nice to be with you here tonight. Congratulations, all you great athletes and your families. The Carl J. D'Alberto Award is given each year to one young woman and one young man who use the skills learned at the Oneonta Boys and Girls Club to help others and to achieve success in high school athletics. And there's nobody better to introduce these award winners to you than the person you grew up with at the club, Gary DeLallo.
Thank you. Tim Catella wanted to make sure that my speech was much shorter than it was last fall. We've got a couple of, two more great kids. We're going to start with Malia Brockington. Let's give her a nice hand. Malia started her athletic career with tennis lessons, playing soccer at 4 years old, and she continued to play soccer right up through the 8th grade with the Oneonta Recreation Club. Starting in 3rd grade, she was at the Boys and Girls Club playing softball, became her first love there. Now, she was our catcher, and not only was she good at it, but nobody else wanted to do it, so she was our catcher. And she did it for 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade, and 6th grade. And in her 6th grade season, she was our name of our league was Quad County, and she was an all-tournament player. She went on to play softball here at the high school, and Coach Brockway has said, as a senior, she hit in the 4th position all season long, and was our cleanup batter. She started every game and primarily behind the plate as a catcher, and she hit .308, very good, and complied with 7 doubles, 14 RBIs, and she scored 9 runs and also threw out 6 runners attempting to steal second base. Malia was a varsity player and captain her senior year. She also was a member of the indoor track team where she ran sprints, and by the time her senior year, she became very good at the race walk, and she had the 17th best time in Section 4 of 10 minutes and 27 seconds. Now, when I go out for my walks, it takes me 10 minutes to get out of my neighborhood. So she was really moving. Next year, Malia will be volunteering in Tanzania, Africa, and then next spring she will be a teacher's aide in one of the local schools. And in the fall of 2024, Malia plans to attend Temple University. Ladies and gentlemen, the very beautiful and talented Malia Brockington. And our winner this year for the boys is Mr. Cameron Sitz. Now, I knew Cam even before he became a Boys Club member. He was one of our students at St. Mary's School. And during gym class, I saw him one day, and he was walking around like this, like he was some kind of tough guy or something. So at first I asked him, I go, Cam, did you hurt your neck in gym? He goes, no, I got my shoulder pads on. And as all his coaches up here would later comment, that he was quite the leader, and he was even then in pre-K, because the next time we had class, he had all the boys in the class walking around like this. He had a bunch of football players. Cam started at the club. He played flag football and basketball with our travel teams, with our Marabitos League. And as far as football goes, he went 3 times as a youngster to the national finals at Buffalo Stadium. I don't know what it's called today, but it's where the Bills play. And 3 years in a row, he was there to pump, pass, and kick. He was one of the finalists. As a little leaguer, he was an all-star. And he also, besides playing youth football, basketball, he did baseball at the Little League. And then at the high school, again, a three-sport athlete playing football, basketball, and baseball. And this is what his coaches had to say. Coach Neal, his thoughts about Cam Sitz: maybe the hardest working kid ever to wear the number 1 in football. What he lacked in size, he made up for it with hard work and hustle. Enjoyed being a teammate and took pride in individual team achievements and successes. Was a real glue guy on the team, Mr. Reliable, and played with infectious amount of enthusiasm. As a member of the baseball team, Coach Hughes let us know that he batted .324 in league play, earning a spot on the All-Stack Division All-Star team, a key member of the Stack East Championship team and Stack League Championship game. Cam brings 100%, this is what every coach said, and he did it since he was 4 years old. Cam brings 100% of the effort to every day. They nicknamed him Scrappy for his all-out effort. Coach Mackey stated that Cam was part of the program for 6 years, a part-time starter this season, a high-energy guy who played great defense for us and always worked hard and rooted for everyone to do well. A good three-point shooter. In one game against Green, he had 8 points this past season. And also, I forgot to note, during football, he won the Justin Driggs Award. That's a pretty big thing. Cam, next year, will be attending SUNY Delhi for their electrical construction utility program. And ladies and gentlemen, let's give a big hand for the 2023 Carl J. D'Alberto Award winner, Mr. Cameron Sitz. Next up is Mr. Tim Catella.
There's probably a few of you here that don't understand what Gary was referring to when he first got up here. He had the honor of being inducted into the Alumni Association Wall of Distinction this past fall, and I happened to be the MC. And in prepping Gary, you know, you're going to be up in front of everybody, you know, say a few words, 5-6 minutes. With me tugging at his sport coat, he set the record at 19 and a half minutes. We had to delay the football game. Thankfully, lunch was cold, so that didn't get affected. But that's what he was referring to. The Herb Birchall Athletic Award. It's presented annually to a senior athlete who maybe throughout the course of their career didn't always get all of the notoriety or the headlines, but who was a type of athlete who was there day in and day out working hard for self-improvement and team goals. Our award winner this year was summed up by one coach by simply saying, "I love to coach this athlete." Showed an incredible work ethic throughout each of her seasons, soccer, indoor track, outdoor track. Demonstrated consistency even through a nagging knee injury. And another coach said she'd step up and fill any role that was required for the betterment of her team. The Birchall Athletic Award winner is Maggie Nealis. And something else just kind of struck me. I went to Oneonta High School, graduated with Bob Escher. And Bob and I participated in athletics up here. And I'm just thinking, all these years later, Bob, they still have us sitting at the end of the bench. It's just like we're playing for Zebo. The Domoski Award is given to a senior athlete who's excelled at his or her sports and whose involvement in athletics stems from having participated in our local youth programs. Our award winner this year did just that: youth soccer, Pickett League basketball down at the Boys and Girls Club, and AAU basketball. This young man, his coaches said he set a tone, positive attitude, bringing everybody up around him. Two-sport varsity athlete in soccer and basketball. He was another type of person that stepped up, filled whatever role was asked for of him, and I don't think knee injuries were a requirement. Maggie had one. Peyton has suffered with one for 2 years, and he's demonstrated nothing but a positive attitude. And I think the most highlighted comment I heard was that his talent and his hard work earned not only the respect of his teammates, but also of his opponents. The Domoski Award winner is Peyton Matthews. Next up with the Service and Athletics Award is Mr. Dan Forbes.
The Service and Athletics Award is given to a varsity athlete who is also involved in a variety of school and community services while also maintaining accomplishments in the classroom. With that being said, what does it mean to serve? Well, this two-sport athlete's resume truly taught me what service is. But before I get into what service really is, right now, let's have a gander of what service looks like. A famous author, Paulo Coelho, was quoted as saying, "The world is changed by your example, not your opinion." Oh, this is the example that this student athlete has shown for what service truly is. Jordan, it took me about 15 minutes to get through your resume after your mother stole it off your desk and I scanned it so I could comb through it. And half my preparation for this speech was reading that and editing it and getting everything that I needed. You need to make it just a little bit shorter, all right? But it's still good and it's still better than mine and you're 18. But seriously, Jordan, seriously, your service record is exemplary. You've done more as a young adult than most have done in a lifetime. From being a student council member and president, helping to support our students and staff to make your school environment one that is conducive not only to learning, but for an overall better high school experience. To being a student board member for Saturday's Bread, spending countless hours in Zoom meetings so that not only could you contribute to thoughts and actions needed for improvement for those less fortunate, but you also distributed food in the kitchen itself. To creating a recurring gift basket program at Bassett's Cancer Institute in Oneonta, if for nothing else but to just give a moment of happiness to those who are ailing. All of these things already have added up to something important, your time. Time is the most valuable asset in this life. It's irreplaceable, and it's priceless because of that. But you have given much of your time. I can't say given up much of your time, because your time was and is well spent. What you are already doing with your life right now is some of the most important things that humans can do throughout their entire lives on this planet. I hope by now you know how important this is. If you haven't already noticed the importance, take a moment to think about the past couple of months in your life. You have received multiple awards and recognitions. And I'm not talking about from your peers, I'm talking about from professionals. You have made a difference in their lives. I'm so proud of this. I'm so inspired by this. You make those around you want to be better people. So, let's get back to the beginning. What is service? Jordan has taught me service is validating another human being's life. Service creates happiness. Service allows you to give of yourself. Service provides value to others' lives by creating human connections. Service spreads kindness. There's substance in all of this. These aren't Instagram posts. These aren't tweets. These aren't TikToks. These aren't Facebook posts. These are real life human interactions. You have given people hope. You have given people attention. You have given people meaning. Even if for only one instance, you have made someone's being more meaningful. Because of service, you have become more worldly, and others will look to you for guidance. I've read that you must serve in order to lead. You're already there, honey. And this positive leadership is rare and desperately needed. Service allows you to better understand others, the world, and most importantly, yourself. Do you realize, truly, Jordan, do you truly realize what all of this means? Go ahead, you can get red. It's okay. You have given love. Joey Pants, know that this is necessary. Know that this is necessary and important to the people around you, to your community. This is important to the world. Service is love, and that's exactly what you have provided, and is exactly what this world needs. In a couple of months, you're going to be released into the wild. Your boundaries have been bursting at the seams for years now to break out of the front doors of our house, the tyranny of your parents. It's time for you to break out into the world. A harsh world, though, but a world that needs you. Please, please continue to be fearless. Please continue to trailblaze so that others can follow in your footsteps. Don't ever stop being involved. Don't ever stop fighting the good fight. And don't ever stop giving your love. Anne Frank wrote, "No one has ever become poor by giving." Joey, I'll leave the pants out this time. You are rich in life. You are rich in kindness. You are rich in thoughtfulness. You are rich in love due to all of your giving. As I close, let me leave you with this to try and help guide you if there's anything left I can still offer to you. Because the last time I tried, I was handed a book back and said, "Dad, I already knew this stuff." So maybe you know this, maybe you don't, but I really think it's necessary for me to bring up as you leave me. Surround yourself with greatness. Show up every day, no matter what, to do what needs to be done. Live in the present, as the good you do each day will add up to a better future. And always remember that mood follows action. Sweetheart, you restore my faith in humanity. Because of you, we can all look forward to a better future. I couldn't be more proud of what you have done. I love you very much, and I'm going to miss you. Congratulations, honey. And now I'd like to introduce Mr. Randy Brockway for a Tony Drago Award.
The Anthony C. Drago Award is given to an athlete who displays the highest degree of coachability, sportsmanship, competitive spirit, work ethic, and the conscious effort to fulfill athletic gifts. This award is of utmost distinction and is considered and awarded by the coaches for whom this player has played for. There is usually not much of an argument when giving out this award, as this athlete stands out among their peers and competition. This year's recipient has played both volleyball and softball during her high school career. She's a fierce competitor and a strong team leader. She values hard work, both academically and athletically, on the ball fields and on the court. She takes athletics seriously and wants to be the best when she is in competition. She takes great pride in being strong both mentally and physically. Her teammates might say she's determined, serious, motivated, intense, and funny. In volleyball, the recipient was a one-year varsity starter. Mr. Farrar is quick to explain how much respect he had for her as an athlete. He said she's an amazing athlete who truly has and understands the ability of listening. Not only could she absorb what was being said, but she had the ability to help her teammates understand and relay the information in a way that benefits their individual needs. He also states that the individual held high expectations of herself and would work over and over to make herself better and more successful. The last thing Mr. Farrar mentioned is how passionate she is. Not only passionate for the sport she is playing, but how intense she practices, how hard she pushes her teammates and to do better, and how strong-minded she is to understand the game and be positive with herself when dealing with adversity. In softball, the recipient was a 3-year varsity starter. She was a Stack All-Division East All-Star this season as a senior pitcher. She was selected to be the captain this year and has held that responsibility since last season. She has been a team leader both on and off the field for us and always practices what she preaches. She is the backbone and the heart of our defense, especially as a pitcher. She has the ability to not only control the batters she faces, but to field her position as well as any infielder behind her. Some infielders may call her selfish because she literally believes that any ball hit belongs to her. She has always been a very strong hitter when it comes to offense. She has the ability to hit the ball out of the park, especially in practices, or lay down a bunt when the defense is on their heels. She has been a tremendous joy to coach over the past 3 seasons. She is a loyal teammate, a great role model, and a player who will be tremendously missed next season. The recipient will be attending the University of West Virginia in the fall and be majoring in biomedical laboratory diagnostics. That's a big one. We wish her all the best of luck in the fall and hope she realizes just how much she will be missed. This year's Anthony C. Drago Award winner is a talented, smart, and athletic Maddie Denning. Next up is John Nealis.
Good evening. First of all, congratulations to all the seniors on your OHS athletic achievements, and good luck next year. I'm sure your college or military base or wherever you're going has rugby, and you should try it. I have some quotes that I save, sayings I like to share with athletes. I'm sure others speaking tonight do the same. To connect sports to life. I reread this one the other day. In the end, we'll all be stories. I hope I can do justice to this guy's stories. He is a 4-year varsity football player. This year he had 56 carries for 263 yards, 5 catches for 75 yards, 2 touchdowns. On defense, he was a leader in tackles, 57 solo tackles and 68 assists, 5 sacks, 3 forced fumbles, and 4 fumbles recovered. He also leads in tackles over the last 3 years. His football story includes that stats and those things like that, but also what I believe, and a couple other coaches agreed, one of the greatest individual defensive performances I've ever witnessed, high school, college, pro. I was watching the tape of the Forks game in my office. It didn't take long to notice the same guy, number 6, all over the place on defense. He had a ridiculous number of tackles that night, 18 solo, more assists. It looked like 50. There were QB pressures, touchdown saving tackles 30 yards the other way, tackles for loss, a forced fumble. He was involved in what looked like every defensive play. I had to keep rewinding to make sure I wasn't seeing things. That truly was something to remember. Coach Bishop and Coach Neal said that after the game, their coach made a comment like, "I wish we could have blocked number 6 tonight." Coach Bishop talked about the Forks game when he was giving me some information, and also that he always played in one gear, all out. He worked to develop his strength and mindset and not just rely on, quote, his freakish natural talents. I like that. Coach Neal said he was going to miss his hard work on the field, his great smile, and his not so great singing. We'll revisit that later. In wrestling, he was a 5-year varsity wrestler and captain, over 80 career wins. COVID cost him that 100 win career mark. This year he was 32-3. His only losses were to 3 state place winners. He was forfeited to 9 times out of fear. He was undefeated at the CV duels and the Vermont duels. He won the Ross Cordell Oneonta Rotary Tournament. He won a triple crown, which I have not seen done here, of the Stack Championship, the Class Championship, and the Section 4 Championship, all by pin. He went to states and won his first match against a strong Long Island kid, and then lost 1-0 to the eventual state champ. He later lost to the 8th place finisher. He put in a dominant wrestling performance, but his wrestling stories go beyond what happened on the mat. He put together a wrestling a cappella group. True story. Tried to make a video, not good, but different. The coach's vote on the singing, by the way, is not a career choice. He lectured in the back of the bus on away trips, and everyone listened. There was a 3-hour talk about the difference between four-wheel drive and all-wheel drive. But my favorite was the almost as long debate on bathroom hygiene. Yep, it was. His wrestling story is one of glue, the glue that brings a team together, the stuff you can't coach. Our season is a grind. You soak your shirt every single day. You watch what you eat. You battle on the mat all by yourself. And some of the guys on his team came out because he was there. To say he's a leader is not strong enough. He was admired. Lacrosse, he did not play this year, but he was a good player. Coach Neal said that he was a league leader in face-off recovery as a junior. I don't know the game very well, but I watched a few because along with other people, I just had to. He seemed to excel at two things I saw, breaking sticks and penalty time. That makes a good story, but I don't know if it helped his team. My suggestion to him, write it all down, young man. You have had an outstanding, difficult, exciting, and eventful beginning to your story. What a great person to be around. Thank you for being on my team and for being such a great teammate. On a personal note, good luck digging those holes next year. And that's a story for the future. The 2023 Tony Drago Award goes to Mateo Goodhue. And up once again is Mr. Hughes.
I'm very happy that I can present two Anthony C. Drago Awards tonight. Mr. Drago was my mentor and my friend. He was my father's best man at my mom and dad's wedding. He hired me to coach baseball about 40 years ago. Unfortunately, as we know, he passed away, but his legacy lives on. His award is given to those who use the most of their skills and talents, who put in the work ethic and effort to become the best athlete they can, and both the recipients tonight did just that. So let me tell you about them both. Both of them played multiple sports at Oneonta High School. Both were selected league all-stars multiple times. Both have swag. Both play golf, but they can't beat Schmitty and me. Both will leave as sectional champions. Both will leave as Stack East Division champions. Their names are dotted now on the OHS record book for baseball. They will both play college baseball, and both of them will be missed. Congratulations to the 2003 recipients of the Anthony C. Drago Award, Owen Burnsworth and Aiden Gelsman. And now Mr. Alex Brannon.
It is my honor to present the 6th Award Athletic of the Year, the athlete. Finley Oliver participated in 3 sports this year: soccer, basketball, and track and field. In track, Finley is a 2-time Section 4 Class C champion, 2-time Stack All-Star, Section 4 Division II champion, qualifying for the state championship this year. He now holds the school record for the 800-meter run with a time of 1 minute 57.56 seconds. In basketball, Finley is a longtime member of the boys basketball program and was on the varsity for the last 2 years. He was a huge contributor for the Stack East champions this year. The highlight of his season came on senior night at OHS when he had 15 points, 8 rebounds, and 3 blocks to help Oneonta defeat our longtime rivals, Norwich. In soccer, Finley has played varsity since his freshman year. As a freshman, he was all-division with 12 goals, 10 assists, and 34 points. As a sophomore, he was all-conference, 18 goals, 8 assists for 44 points. As a junior, he was all-conference and all-state, 21 goals, 12 assists for 54 points. And as a senior, he was all-conference, all-state, all-regional, and the Daily Star Player of the Year, with 46 goals, 10 assists for 102 points. Finley holds the career points record with 97 goals and 40 assists for 234 points. Also holds career goals record for 97, and is tied for the most goals in a season with 46. So congratulations, Finley, on being the high school athlete of the year. This is a well-deserved honor, and I want to take a moment to express my deepest admiration for your exceptional performance and dedication to all 3 sports throughout the year. Your commitment, perseverance, and hard work have set you apart as a remarkable athlete. From the very beginning of the season, it was evident that you possess a unique talent and a burning passion for your sport. Your skills, both physical and mental, have continually impressed both your teammates and coaching staff. Not only have you consistently displayed outstanding athletic ability, but you have also demonstrated exemplary sportsmanship and leadership qualities. Your ability to inspire and motivate others on and off the field is truly commendable. You have been a role model for your teammates, encourage them to strive for excellence, and fostering a positive team environment. Beyond your individual achievements, your contributions to the team's success have been invaluable. Your exceptional performance in crucial moments, your unwavering determination, and your ability to remain focused under pressure have played a pivotal role in your victories throughout the year. As your coach, I am immensely proud of your accomplishments and the person you have become. Your work ethic, integrity, and passion for your sport are qualities that will undoubtedly lead you to achieve great things in the future at Stony Brook. Once again, congratulations on a remarkable achievement. Finley, please join me for your award. I want to introduce Matt Miller.
Good evening. I guess this is the end of the show here, and it's getting hot in here, so I'm sure everybody's ready to get outside and enjoy some fresh air. I'm still trying to recover from Dan Forbes' speech. I feel like I swallowed a tennis ball ever since that got through. Dan, how you got through that, I don't have any idea. If I had to do that for my daughter, which I don't have, but imaginary daughter, there'd have been 5 stages to that, cold showers, counseling, everything. I couldn't have gotten through it. But I'm presenting the Female Athlete of the Award tonight, and the girl that I'm speaking on behalf of, I'm extremely proud of. Like every year, the student body votes on this award, and it'd be very hard to argue that they didn't nail it this year. Statistically speaking, 7% of all athletes, high school athletes, go on to compete at a college-level sport. Our athlete tonight, by the account of her high school coaches who have seen many of their players go on in the past to compete in college athletics, and by the account of the college coaches that recruited this girl, she has the ability to play at 3 different varsity level sports. I couldn't find a statistic online to say how rare that is, but I'm pretty confident saying that's probably less than 1%. The entire population could do something like that. This girl is different, and she's very special in a lot of different ways. She competed at OHS in volleyball, basketball, and softball, and all of her coaches had similar things to say about her. The word selfless was a recurring theme among all of us. During her senior year, she was asked in all 3 sports to do something different. In a lot of cases that was uncomfortable for her, and in some cases even something that she didn't want to do. In softball, she was moved in the lineup to the leadoff spot, where typically she would have batted 3rd or 4th, so a lot more pressure on her to get on base. For me, I asked her to step out of her comfort zone and to become an offensive player, something that she really never had to do. She always played with people that could do that part of it, and she was comfortable not being the kid that shot the ball. She couldn't do that for me her senior year, and certainly was something that took her some time to get used to. And in volleyball, she was asked to be a setter for the 2nd year in a row. When coming into this year, she expected to be a hitter. Coach Farrar said she doesn't like to be a setter, but we needed a setter, and she stepped up. The saying among volleyball coaches is you find your best athlete and make them your setter. That was her whether she liked it or not, and she did it so well that she took us to 2 sectional finals in a row. She accepted the role we needed her to fill because it was best for our team. That says mountains about who she is. The word leader was something else that came up in our conversations, both by example and her words. She was a captain for me. She was a captain for Coach Brockway, and although Coach Farrar doesn't have captains on his team, he said she acted like a captain and was treated like a captain the entire season. The word work ethic, again, was echoed by all 3 of us. This kid loves athletics, loves being part of a team, attends every off-season workout that you ever offer, and when she shows up, she's all in. The word toughness was another word that was repeatedly used by all of us. You don't find tougher kids than this kid, period. You just don't. Coach Brockway said of her toughness, she plays with passion, she wants to be successful, and she has that will-to-win attitude. When it's time to face competition, she rises up to the occasion. She's a gamer. And I can tell you in almost 2 decades worth of coaching at the high school level, I've coached some kids that may be as tough as her. I could not say I've coached anybody tougher. 1, because I don't think it would be true. 2, because if I did, I'm afraid she would come up here, show you guys how tough she is, and I'd end up on the floor. So I'm not ready for that smoke, and I'm not ready for the embarrassment that would ensue with that. In short, this kid is a total package. She has the skill, she has the heart, she has the toughness and the mentality to be a top-level elite athlete. To highlight a few of her individual accomplishments in the 3 sports that she played here, in softball, she was a 3-year varsity starter, was selected as a Stack East Division All-Star as a senior, had an amazing senior year, hitting .416 for the team, batting out of the leadoff position, hit 14 doubles, 4 triples, 3 home runs, and scored 26 runs. In volleyball, she was a 4-year starter, a gym rat the entire time, loved to compete and turned everything into a game and a competition, and was an all-conference stack selection, which is the highest recognition our league gives. In basketball, she was a 2-year starter and was just an absolute stat stuffer for us. Anything you can ask a kid to do as a basketball player, she did for us. She led our team in rebounds, steals, assists, blocks, efficiency rating, and was our 3rd leading scorer. Was an honorable mention BCA NY Section 4 All-Star, which includes every class size and every school that competes in Section 4. She was an honorable mention All-State Class B selection and was an all-conference stack selection, again, the highest award our league gives. She leaves OHS basketball program ranked 9th all-time in rebounds, 7th all-time in steals, and 8th all-time in assists. And remember, she did this in 2 years. Those career lists usually are composed of almost exclusively 3- and 4-year varsity players. This year's award winner is heading to Morrisville, where she'll be studying psychology. She'll be playing for the women's basketball team and possibly, if it works out, the women's softball team. It is my pleasure to announce your award winner this year for Female Athlete of the Year, Abby Platt.
Thanks, Matt. Appreciate everybody coming out on a hot, stuffy night in here. Mr. Hecox, thanks for filming. To Vaughn, Brandon, Sabone, Owen Schultz for some spelling issues. We will get that rectified. Either this week, next week, I'll drive it to your house. I'm going to get some programs reprinted. So again, I apologize. You shouldn't have had to deal with that, but unfortunately, that's where we are. I see some here, to the spouses and significant others of the coaches, the administrators, everybody that's involved in our school district all throughout. You do a lot of stuff behind the scenes to put up with us being here a lot at practices, games, and these events. So thank you as well to you guys on behalf of us. And to my own family, thanks for begrudgingly letting me take this interim job for a while. Katie Talbert, if you're watching or when you're watching, enjoy that baby. But do not forget us, and make sure if I call in August, you take my call. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate it. Enjoy.